recorded.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the February 7th agenda meeting for the South Plainfield Mayor and Council. This meeting has been advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, with adequate notice of this meeting being provided to the borough's two official newspapers and published on the borough's website. Ms. Antonides, will you call the roll, please?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Here.
Councilwoman Mott?
Here.
Councilman Smith?
Here.
Councilman White?
Here.
Councilman Bullock?
Here.
And Council President Faustini?
Here.
Thank you. Can you take us through a review of tonight's agenda, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. This evening, we have two matters on for executive session. However, we do need to add one more. It will be titled Contractual Pertaining to Link Logistics. We have the release of performance bond posted by Max Steinmetz. We have the approval of council minutes for January 24th. We have two proclamations on this evening. One ordinance on for a second reading by title, and one ordinance on for a first reading by title. We have 10 resolutions on. However, we do have the addition of one more. It will be numbered as 22-72, titled Authorizing a Sole Source Provider Contract Pursuant to NJSA 48:11-5 for 2022 proprietary software to host the borough's cloud services through Edmonds and Associates in amount not to exceed $6,000. And we have two matters of correspondence, and we have two payment of bills this evening, one for January 12th, which totals $593,593.95, and the bills list for February 7th totaling $537,557.92. Council reports, and we conclude with public comments. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Council comments on agenda items?
Nothing there.
None.
Mayor, I was just gonna mention 2272, that cloud hosting is gonna be for the tax office, so that's our tax application for sewer, and all the financial applications within our finance offices.
Okay. Speaking of that, can I get a motion to add to the agenda resolution 22-72, as mentioned?
So
by the
moved.
clerk?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Smith, seconded by Council President Faustini. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And can I also get a motion for executive session tonight, adding the contractual item for Link Logistics, which is not on the agenda?
So, second.
Motion by Councilman Smith, seconded by Councilman White. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Don't have my glasses and I can't hear today. All right. We have the release of a performance bond, Block 147, Lot 14.02, public improvements to that. Amy, everything is in order, correct?
Everything's in good order, Mr. Mayor.
Council comments regarding the release of the performance bond?
No, Mayor.
None.
Do we have somebody representing? Okay. We'll open it up for, unless you have anything to add, we'll open it up for public. If there's no public comments, then we'll add it on to tonight, or if there's no objection, we'll add on tonight's agenda. You are more than welcome to stay for the entire thing, but most likely you won't. All right. At this point, I'll open it up for public comments on or a public hearing for the release of the performance bond for public improvements to Block 147, Lot 14.02. Seeing none, and none online. Close the public portion. You guys are on for tonight. And at this point, we'll open it up for public comments on agenda items only. All right, seeing none, close the public portion. At this point, can I get a motion to adjourn tonight's agenda meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Benjavanga, seconded by Councilwoman Mott. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, seeing no reason to delay, we'll go right to the public meeting. Again, this meeting has been advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, with adequate notice of this meeting also being provided to the borough's two official newspapers and published on the borough's website. Ms. Antonides, will you call the roll once more?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Here.
Councilwoman Mott?
Here.
Councilman Smith?
Here.
Councilman White?
Here.
Councilman Bullock?
Here.
And Council President Faustini?
Here.
Thank you. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation by Councilman Benjavanga. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and
Dear Lord, please look over this governing body as we make decisions tonight on behalf of the residents. Please look over all of our emergency services and all those who are sick, guide them and heal them in a timely manner. Amen.
At this point, we'll open it up for public comments on agenda items only. Seeing none, close the public portion. Can I get a motion for the approval of the council minutes for January 24th agenda, public and executive?
So move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman White, seconded by Councilman Benjavanga. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President Faustini?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. We have two proclamations for tonight. The first is Black History Month for February 2022. And whereas Black History Month, also known as National African American History Month, is an annual celebration of achievements by Black Americans and a time for recognizing the central role of African Americans in U.S. history. And whereas Black History Month was started by historian Carter G. Woodson in 1926 and was called Negro History Week, his goal was to educate the American people about African American history, focusing on African Americans' cultural backgrounds and achievements. And whereas since 1976, every U.S. president has officially designated the month of February as Black History Month and designated a specific theme to highlight the contributions that African Americans have made in every field, from science and the arts to politics and religion. And whereas this year's theme, Black Health and Wellness, honors African Americans and encourages all Americans to study and reflect on the value of their contributions to the nation. And whereas Black History Month provides a time for all Americans to recognize and remember the struggles of African Americans for freedom and equal opportunity. Now, therefore, I, Matthew Pianesh, Mayor of the Borough of South Plainfield, do hereby proclaim the month of February as Black History Month in the Borough of South Plainfield and encourage all residents to join me in celebrating the diversity and character of our community and to continue to work towards the ideals of equality, freedom, and opportunity that our country represents. Thank you. So, I know we have some distinguished guests from various committees and agencies and organizations around town. If you'll just join me up front, I'll present the proclamation.
Think I'm out of the way.
It's a good question.
Thank you. Well, that's great. You know, I did notice that, but I didn't stop to think as long as.
The whole thing is that I've been doing a lot of research, a lot of reading, and the conclusion is the United States wouldn't be the United States without slavery, and then during that, the contributions of the African Americans to the country, from the Revolutionary War, where slaves joined Washington's Revolutionary Army, but brought their families with them. See, so we were always in whatever conflict. Buffalo Soldiers, Teddy Roosevelt came up the hill after the Buffalo Soldiers took San Juan Hill. So I can just keep going and going. But the country wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for the contributions of all Americans.
And I'd like to say, as a teacher in Plainfield for close to 50 years, I didn't just teach African American history during February. I made it a daily thing. And as you said, Carter G. Woodson, and the reason he chose February was to honor Frederick Douglass, who had been born a slave, freed himself, and became advisor to Abraham Lincoln. And at that time, in 1926, he was the most prestigious African American to date. So, and I sent everyone websites that you can go to that the libraries are using, so you can learn a little bit more about African American history.
Thank you. Thank you all very much for coming. There is some additional special programming that, Cheryl Nagel-Smiley just mentioned. I know the library has some virtual programming. You can check the South Plainfield Library website for the times and to sign up to see that. And the Cultural Arts Commission is also going to sponsor a program later in the month of February. You can check their website as well for the dates to sign up.
Thank you. And it's also American Heart Month, and I'm sorry, you have to bear with me, the font on this proclamation is a little bit smaller. I don't have my glasses. So whereas disease of the heart and the nation's leading cause of death, and stroke is the fourth leading cause of death, whereas cardiovascular disease claims the lives of more than 650,000 Americans each year, approximately 1 death per minute, and each year nearly 52% of all deaths are due to cardiovascular disease and 60% are stroke-related deaths. And whereas too many Americans die each year because they are unaware that heart disease is the #1 killer, and nearly as many die of heart disease, stroke, and all other cardiovascular diseases than the next 4 leading causes of death combined, including all cancers. And whereas February is designated as American Heart Month and February 4th marked the anniversary celebration of the National Wear Red Day for Women, and whereas Go Red for Women is the American Heart Association's national movement and call to increase awareness about heart disease, the leading cause of death for women, and to inspire women to take charge of their heart health and reduce the risk for heart disease and stroke. And whereas all women should learn their own personal risk for heart disease using tools such as American Heart Association's My Life Check, Go Red for Women Heart Check, Go Red Better You, and by talking to their healthcare providers. And whereas taking action and making the right choices relating to proper nutrition, physical activity, and other healthy lifestyle choices are essential to living a heart-healthy life. And whereas by choosing to improve heart and stroke health, the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women asks that across America, women go red and help save lives from heart disease and stroke. Now, therefore, I, Matthew P. Nash, Mayor of the Borough of South Plainfield, in recognition of the importance of the ongoing fight against heart disease and stroke, do hereby proclaim the month of February 2022 to be American Heart Month in the Borough of South Plainfield, and we encourage all citizens to show their support for women and fight against heart disease and stroke by commemorating this month and by the wearing of the color red. By increasing awareness, speaking up about heart disease and stroke, and empowering women to reduce their risk for cardiovascular disease, we can save thousands of lives each year. Thank you.
That was very good, Mayor, without your glasses, I have to say.
Is anybody following along? It's pretty accurate. All right. For final adoption, ordinance 2221.
An ordinance authorizing the acquisition of Lot 5, Block 452 by donation.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for final adoption on ordinance 2221?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Councilman Smith, seconded by Councilman White. As this is for final adoption, we'll open it up for public comments regarding the final adoption of ordinance 2221.
I don't have any comments, but I would like a picture for
Yes,
donation.
we will do that in 1 second. Okay.
Call the
All
women
right.
out.
It's shocking she has no
Yes.
comments.
Before we,
Wanna call the women out?
yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah, we can do that.
Okay. You want the women up? What
Are
do
you
think?
trying to
Yeah,
get me
she
off?
wants
Are
the
you
women
trying to
up.
hold on
Wait,
1
wait.
second? Are you trying to get me off track?
Okay.
You gotta finish this.
Yes.
Okay.
Ca- Council comments regarding ordinance 2221.
None.
No.
Okay.
None.
All right, Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Yes, Councilman Benjavanga,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President Faustini?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Okay. Now, anybody who would like to join us for the Go Red for Women.
I'm going to join. I
Please
wore a
join.
lot of
Yes.
red today.
Did a great job.
Come up.
You notice they said that all the stuff that causes a heart attack in women, but in men, it's women. What's up, man?
Been an interesting night tonight. For introduction, ordinance 2222.
A capital ordinance authorizing the capital repairs of the turf field at the South Plainfield Municipal Recreation Complex funded by an interlocal agreement with the South Plainfield Board of Education and the Borough of South Plainfield at a cost of $32,121 in the Borough of South Plainfield, County of Middlesex, New Jersey.
Thank you. Can I get a motion for introduction on ordinance 2222?
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Council President Faustini, seconded by Councilman White. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
And Council President Faustini?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Can I get a motion on resolutions 22-62 to 22-72?
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, I have
Yes.
a question on that. I
Sure.
just talked to Mr. Cullen. We have an introduction of an ordinance. And now you're gonna have a resolution granting before the second adoption,
It's gonna be contingent on.
okay, I didn't see that word in here.
It says,
On the resolution and in the
Contingent.
ordinance.
it says it right there.
Yeah.
It says of an interlocal agreement
Correct, correct,
between the Board of Education
Contingent
and
on-
half the cost of the capital improvements.
correct.
So, but.
We can't have an interlocal agreement until at least the next meeting.
Okay. All right, I want to be educated on that, and so the residents, we're going to put an ordinance for introduction, and they're passing a resolution. I want to make sure everybody knows how that goes.
Mhm.
Okay? I'm good with it.
Okay. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. Councilman Bullock,
Second.
seconded by Councilman White. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President Faustini?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. We have two items of correspondence, the Board of Health monthly report for January and the Environmental Commission minutes for December. Can I get a motion for the correspondence?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Smith, seconded by Councilman White. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President Faustini?
Yes.
Passes 6-0.
Thank you. Can I get a motion on payment of the bills for January 12th for $593,593.95, and February 7th, $537,557.92?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman White, seconded by Councilman Wallach. Ms. Antonides, can you call the roll?
Councilman Benjavanga?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mott?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman White?
Yes.
Councilman Bullock?
Yes.
Council President Faustini?
Yes.
And that passes 6-0.
Thank you. Mr. Rizzo, anything for us tonight?
No, Mr. Mayor, progress.
Just bring your glasses, right? Mr. Cullen.
Yes, Mayor, I just want to mention a couple things. Obviously, 22-62 is the retirement of Gene Sherwood
Mhm.
from the what we really know is the building department. And I just want to wish Gene well. We have kind of a scientific way of knowing how our snowstorms go, and that is how active the mayor's phone is. So it's not really social media. And I just want to thank Mr. Miller. I don't think we've received a single phone call or email with our latest snowstorms. And I just want to congratulate him and Public Works and
There might have been one email.
the vendors that are used in the snow removal. And obviously, we're in our budget process right now, but we're still waiting for a couple of main things, in particular, the American Relief Plan Act, how that ARPA funding is going to be allocated this year and what is permissible by the division. So when we know more, I will certainly make everybody aware. And with that progress, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Miller.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, with the weather, our road projects are on hold for the time being, and we'll get started up as soon as the weather breaks, hopefully pretty soon. I heard some birds chirping this morning, so hopefully we can get back out paving soon.
It's going to be almost golf weather on Saturday, I hear. Next couple of days are pretty good. I think your department did a great job over the snowstorm, and then also on the little ice storm and whatever you want to call it that we had. So I noticed all the usual spots were salted and didn't get any reminders from residents, including I didn't even need to call you. So great job. You don't always get that, right? Great job, Ms. Antonides.
Progress, Mr. Mayor.
Perfect. Councilman Smith.
Yes, I'd like to echo what Mr. Cullen said about Jean Sherwood. I think she was working here when God was still an altar boy, so she's been here a long time and has done a great job for the town and the borough. I've known her a long time.
God was
So I
an
want
altar
to
boy.
wish her well, and with that, progress.
Thank you, Councilman Wallach.
Progress, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman White.
Yes, progress, Mayor.
Councilwoman Mott.
Of course, I can't go without saying thank you again to Mr. Miller and DPW for a job well done. We appreciate it. Everything was wonderful. And with that, progress.
Thank you. Councilman Benjavanga.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to also comment on Jean and her retirement. Matt, Mayor, you know, when we were first elected in '05, some of these employees I've worked with for the past 15, 16 years and got to know them personally. Most of the cops have been sworn in while we were on council. And so you get to know people. And one thing that I will say, that it was a different time back when we first got elected. You know, there was a little bit of a different philosophy on how to govern. And I just have to say that because you'd walk into Borough Hall and people would actually be afraid to talk to me because of certain political affiliations. They would write down lists on election days. Well, there were a few people in this building that took the courage to, train me to be a better councilman. John Papps, Gene Sherwood, Glenn Cullen, Kim Clifford. People would go out of their way to make sure that I had the information that I needed to be able to be up here and didn't care what any of the ramifications might have been at that time. So I personally want to thank her as well as those other people who were able to give me that guidance so that I could be here still today. And that we are definitely, a team that cares about the residents and will move South Plainfield forward. So with that, progress.
Thank you. Council President Faustini.
Thank you. While we're waiting for warmer weather, spring and summer coming, I just want to let everybody know the system is up and ready to register for the pool. So, get on in there. We're going to have another great summer. In between, we also have Buddy Ball in March with recreation. You can sign up to be a player or support Buddy. So, look into that online. We also have a multi-sport program, and we've just started pickleball every weekday morning, 10 to 12. So that should keep you busy until warmer weather. And I do want to say thank you to the South Plainfield Board of Education for working with us and partnering on the repair of the turf field for the meantime. And with that, progress.
Thank you. So, yes, we still have some time with Jean still around, but Rob, I do echo your comments, and very well said. You mentioned how you get to know people, and, you know, that some you get to know really well, and you get to see them around town and outside of Borough Hall. I gotta watch how I say this, but, you know, I also had the honor of being able to perform the wedding, not marry her daughter, but perform the ceremony for her daughter's wedding. And you get to see her in a different light, and when you get to share with somebody, you know, a mother who's you know, about to have her daughter get married, you know, you see somebody in a completely different light than when we're used to walking down to the building department and trying to get information on a, you know, inquiry we may have received from somebody, you know, that pertains to the building department. So definitely an interesting person. She will be missed, very, very knowledgeable. I guess with any other person who's very strong and very opinionated, you know, not everybody's going to like you, but that's okay, right?
I've been yelled at a few times.
Yeah, but she was definitely an asset to the borough, and you know, hopefully made this place a little bit better, incrementally better, as I think we all wish we can do, and leave our mark in that way. So I do wish her all the best and her family, and I'm sure they'll have some good times ahead. You can see just by those in the council chambers here today and us up here, the numbers are getting better. Hopefully, we start turning the page on this pandemic. I know we're going into year 3. It's hard to imagine, it's hard to believe, but we posted the coronavirus numbers earlier on the borough's Facebook page. And again, a reminder, this is a 3-day total from Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but countywide, 452 cases, 175,357 pandemic to date, 8 additional deaths for a total of 2,476. When you look at the borough numbers, 13 cases reported over those 3 days. So we're trending in a very low single digits. 5452 pandemic to date, no deaths, keeps the reported death total in the borough at 79. So keep your fingers crossed, keep doing what you're doing, and I think the governor made some announcements today, right,
Yes.
with regards to schools, and I think over the next couple of weeks, we're going to see more and more things getting back to, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Things will be changing, right, hopefully for the better. I don't know if I'm going to call them back to normal, but they're changing. All right, with that, we'll open it up for anything on your mind. There's nobody on the WebEx, so we'll take comments here. Ms. Boyle.
Debbie Boyle, Van Fleet. Thank you to our African-American brothers and sisters who have been a huge part of our history and continue to be a big part of it. Again, Martin Luther King Jr., your dreams are a work in progress. Never give up and never give in. Congratulations to Jean Sherwood on your retirement. She's always been very helpful when you had to come into the office in the back. Also, we have our wreath-making event sponsored by the Cultural Arts Commission on Thursday at the PAL from 6:30 to 8:45. We already have 20 people. We're only taking the first 15. I will reach out to the other people. For those who cancel at the last minute, we will take them in order as they are on the list. Also, thank you to Len Miller and the DPW, especially in the ice storm. That was huge with all the salt put down, so thank you for that. The snow we knew was coming, and you deal with that. Also, adopt-a-spots in town. There's multiple adopt-a-spots in town. Mine is the South Plainfield Business Association, the ramp on both sides over on by Church Lane. We take a lot of pride in keeping that clean. I try to clean it 3 times a year. I know that many others also try to keep their spots clean. If somebody is not keeping their area clean or their spot, does somebody take pictures and send it to along with a letter to the people that are not keeping up with their spots? I know you have to sign an agreement and keep up the area. whether you have one or multiple. So hopefully, when there's areas that are unkept, that pictures are taken and a letter is sent to those people who don't keep up their spot. With that,
Not
progress.
100% sure. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what the committee does, but I'm sure if they get feedback, they address it, right?
Yes, they was discussed at the last meeting. Alice and Deborah Leporino does the Adopt a Spot program, and they do have that, and they're supposed to come back, and when they don't renew it or talk to people, and that's why.
Okay. Anyone else? Mr. Sayers.
What I say is 414 West Crescent. I want to take the opportunity also to congratulate Jean. As a member of the public, I had an opportunity to deal with her several times, and she always been pleasant and professional. And we usually, if she ever had any issues by the work I do in Trenton, she always call me. So I want to congratulate her on her retirement and wish her luck. Also congratulate Glenn, because this is the first year I also have not a call to him to say, can you clear the drainage? So yeah, the town did a pretty good job this year. Which,
Still 3 good weeks of February.
yeah,
Still time. Just saying.
I think this Sunday.
May want to reserve comment, right? Anyone else? Just kidding, Miller. You're doing a fabulous job. No one else? All right. We're going to close the public portion. We are going into executive session. We will be back as soon as possible.